Hello, everyone. So I have the wonderful Conny here with me today, and we're going to talk about Biodynamic Craniosacral Therapy. Hi, Conny. Welcome.
Hi, Mignon. Thank you very much for this opportunity to speak about, I would say, one of the central passions in my life.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's the danger is always that once I start talking about it, I can't stop. So I will try and really contain myself. Do you maybe want to ask me specific questions that might be better?
Just for people who don't know, what is Biodynamic Craniosacral Therapy?
Right. So I think, fortunately, and that's actually primarily due to the work of John Upledger, the term craniosacral therapy has become quite widely known and is practiced by lots of different bodywork practitioners, including quite a broad range of physios. However, the emphasis here is on biodynamic, and there is actually quite a distinctive difference between the two approaches. The emphasis in biodynamic craniosacral therapy, which is also called craniosacral biodynamics, is that we very distinctively work with the forces held within the body, and we don't impose external force into the body. I think that's most probably the most distinguishing feature. And that really requires a depth of listening skill that is quite remarkable, and needs to be developed over a long period of practice. And that depth of listening skill is a wonderful therapeutic tool because it can actually bring about an incredibly precise therapeutic process without imposing force into the body.
It's a very gentle approach.
So it's a very gentle approach. It's a very subtle approach. And it can bring about profound shifts in the healing process of the body.
Thank you. That's a wonderful way of describing it. And how did you come? What is your background? How did you come to find this thing that you're so passionate about, and what's your journey with it?
Yeah, I started my bodywork journey in the realm of remedial massage therapy, and I literally by chance, if there is such a thing in this dimension that we live in, stumbled across an introductory weekend of craniosacral therapy, and in fact biodynamic craniosacral therapy. And it was a 2-day introductory weekend, and I somehow had a sense that this is going to be a profound door that has just opened for me. But I entered without much cognitive expectation. And there were two things that happened to me in those 2 days. The one was a really clear realization that I'd arrived home. I had found my home. And the other one was much more physiological. It was at the end of the 2 days, the response in my own body to the work that I'd received throughout those 2 days absolutely blew me away. And I went, wow, I need to learn this. And that was, that was about 22 years ago. And for the last 18 years, I have been a craniosacral practitioner.
Wonderful. And having worked with you and trained with you, you are an incredibly profound healer, and it's changed my life as well. And Roger, who is your teacher and my teacher, is going to be running another professional training next year. Do you want to talk about your role in it and the contents of what the course will be about?
Yes. We so we completed a 3-year craniosacral diploma training here in Sydney, of which you were part of the student cohort, and it was wonderful to have you there.
Life-changing. I have to say, it is the most, like, every single person in the course, the transformation from beginning to end is just like none of us were the same people. It really was changing for all of us. Yeah.
Exactly. It's very much a road of personal development as well as developing very significant professional skill. Yes, so we completed that training in February 2020, and the plan was to immediately continue with the next cycle of 3-year training seminars, and then COVID occurred and everything ground to a halt. And so we have now lined up the new starting date for the 3-year training in this work to be the 16th of February. At the moment, we are booked into a venue in Randwick and here in Sydney, and but if there is during the next few months, if there is an indication that a large percentage of our student body will come from regional realms, we have had some indication that might be occurring. We will consider possibly shifting it to Coffs Harbour, but at this stage it is occurring here in Sydney, and it is a 3-year course, as I've mentioned, that occurs in 3 cycles per year, every February, every June, and every October of those 3 years. Each cycle, each seminar phase is 5 days long, and Roger is the main teacher on this course. I will be the co-teacher. And then we have a very dynamic and experienced team of tutors. So our student-tutor ratio is excellent. We have about 1 tutor for every 2 to 3 tables, which basically means that right throughout the 3 years, the experiential side of the course, which is really its core entity, each student will receive very focused tutoring.
So if I was to sign up for the course, what would I be learning? What would I come out with at the end of it? What are the contents?
So the course is very, I would, of course I'm biased because I am part of this particular group of biodynamic training, but I do have to say I've tapped into a whole range of different biodynamic training courses in various stages, and I do have to say that Roger's course has profound depth to it. And as we've indicated, it is not only about professional development, it's also about personal development. And the course essentially initially focuses on teaching about the craniosacral fundamentals, the fundamental principles, and teaches about the development of that touch sensitivity, the palpation sensitivity and perception that is necessary for this work. Essentially, as a student of this course, you will learn about the essence of health held within each body. It doesn't matter how much imbalance there's in the body, there's always health. And that is the wonderful thing about this work. We connect with the health rather than with the imbalance. And we encourage the health inherent within the body to express itself. And through that expression, the imbalance becomes better integrated into functional balance. That is really the summary of it. But the details of the course, we have a detailed curriculum document that I can send out to anyone who's interested. But essentially, what distinguishes Roger's training is that it's very much based in osteopathic skills, because this work has arisen from osteopathy. William Sutherland was the so-called father of cranial osteopathy, and the fundamental skill level of that approach is so useful in this work, because it is quite, because it is so subtle and it is so gentle. There is a possibility that you might glide off into a very ethereal space. And some approaches to this work actually encourage that, but we don't. We encourage a deep, full grounding in the anatomy. So there is substantial anatomical and physiological information contained in the course. There is direct focus into the development of these skills that can be directly applied in practice, and then there is a broad exploration of healing principles that come from different traditions, that are a very useful foundation base for engaging with therapeutic work.
Thank you, Conny. What I loved about being part of the course was that such a diverse range of people, from Reiki practitioners to osteopaths to massage therapists to people who hadn't done any kind of body work before, who were part of this course, and everybody just learnt such incredible skills for helping people and themselves. So thank you so much. So if anybody wants to find out more about the course, the 3-year professional training in February in maybe Sydney, maybe Coffs Harbour, I will put the link above where you can contact Conny. Roger Gilchrist is going to be leading it, and Conny is going to be co-teaching it, and it's going to be a wonderful 3-year professional training to be a biodynamic craniosacral therapist. Thank you, Conny, for being with us today.
Thank you, Mignon, and I very much look forward to being contacted. I'm the coordinator of the course here in Australia, and I will send all the necessary information.
Thank you, Conny.
All right, Mignon. Wonderful to speak to you.
Wonderful to speak.